Okay, round 2 is here with us as we do the Chutney challenge on Calling the Audible with Peeze, Eagle, and I.
We actually had a pre-Chutney challenge.
Yeah.
Terry Tam took his try on Hot Sauce Sports. So for those who have not yet seen, watched, listened to, subscribed, and or liked, you've been listening to Hot Sauce Sports.
You're listening to Hot Sauce Sports.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, as we wrap up week 7 of the FPF. Is it week 7, Eagle?
This is week 7 that we just finished.
Wrapped up, okay, FPF Cup. I lost track, actually. And we are now moved towards week 8 and the final 2 weeks of the regular season, or the, I guess, what do you call this round here, Eagle? The prelim round?
Right now we are in the qualification
round. That's right, of the FPF Cup. And we'll actually remind you guys the dates for the knockout round stages in October, where they'll be played in the whole 9. And then, of course, hopefully we'll have that wrapped up and then move into the conclusion of the 2020 winter season.
The knockout round, sort of call it.
Round.
Yeah, exactly.
Round.
How most people pronounce that word.
You know why? It's because I have a quarter-second delay on any word that I say in the board. So because of that, I feel like I'm finished the sentence in my mind, but I'm not. So I end up going at the end of every word.
Check the world clock.
So you attack the hole before the hole opens up in a run play then?
Sure.
Yeah.
So Eagles know for.
Yeah, you don't time yourself properly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Usually I'm pretty good at tapping holes.
Which hole are you talking about?
Yes.
The pie, or are you talking about like a hole in the wall?
I just asked your sister.
Okay, sure.
The lovely Moe Khan.
Of course. All right. So what do you guys want to do? You guys want to do the Chutney challenge first? And then
Well, I haven't eaten dinner, so let's annoy Rob by eating on air.
All right, perfect. Let's do that now. I got to film this, by the way. So we're going to do like a film on film here.
So I
This is
had
great broadcasting. By
on Hot Sauce Sports, I had to teach Terry how to podcast in the middle of the show. I hope it's not the same here, Mo. I hope you know that you need to speak while I'm eating and so on.
Absolutely.
All right,
absolutely.
good. See, broadcast professional right here, Eagle. That's why.
Woo! Okay.
It's different.
So for the audience, the last time around when we made this, you used a different type of pepper. Like, what makes these ones different? So first off, samosas.
Yeah, samosas here.
And then two,
hold on.
the chutney.
On the camera here, if we can get this on the camera. There
Awesome.
we go.
Excited.
That's my mom's homemade samosas. Oh, there we go. Mom's homemade samosas. So we're going to pass the samosas around here to Eagle and Peeze as they are zooming in on that. And let me get my video ready to go here as we are live. Or we're not live, but we are kind of live, right?
We are live. We're literally live.
So we're live doing this.
We're live streaming.
And
as we always have.
So should I have samosa by itself?
No, we're going to do a double dip here. So you're going to take one piece there and one piece there with that, all right? So, and then here's Peeze getting ready. To do
Very excited.
Chutney's
And
challenge here.
starving. So
Okay, so here we go.
This one over here looks way more intense than the last
Yeah,
one.
here we go. That's Eagle.
You want to go right away?
Go ahead, Eagle. Eagle is diving in there like Eagle that he is.
Good.
All right, you want to finish off this one over here?
Spicier than the last one. Still not. Ooh, actually, now it's got a kick.
Yeah.
Spicier than the last one, but still good.
All right, Peeze, here we go.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it.
There we go. Peeze now diving in there like a
Here we go.
dolphin fan that he is. And there we go.
Again,
Oh,
Mo,
boy.
these are
good.
delicious. They're very tasty, but these aren't unbearable spice. Like I've had like green curry, like Thai green curry food, and that's deadly. Like I can't have it. These are spicy but tasty.
But they're the perfect mix, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you don't want it so spicy
No. This is
that it
perfectly
doesn't
edible.
taste like anything, right?
No.
This is really, it's nice. I like it.
All right, perfect.
So, Mo, do we finally address the whole thing of what being like the East End boys that can't take spice now and everything?
Oh, you
What's
guys
this?
still
Like,
can't take spice. Are you guys going to finish this off here? You guys see it for the wives? What's going on here? I got a message from the wife
we
last
just
week.
started
Got
the show.
Peeze for.
Well, no, because I'm having dinner now, so they're all mine.
All right, so you want one more here, Eagles, and I give the rest.
I'll
to...
run a little bit later. Yeah. All
All
right.
right, cool. So we'll have the one a little bit later on. Peeze, want one now? You want to eat
I'll
some
take one
more?
now. I'm starving.
All right, so
I didn't have
you
dinner.
eat.
You eat. I'll eat. You talk football.
Yeah, Peeze, sorry, Eagle and I will talk football here.
Just
and-
don't report me to the guy who deals with the media.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. Okay, so let's talk about the schedule coming up for the last 2 weeks of the season, Eagle. And then we'll go into the playoff schedule as well for those who are intrigued by what's going to happen here as Peeze is eating the food away. So here we go.
It really is tasty.
Well, there you go. So, again, for the last 2 weeks of the season, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. And then in 2 weeks, we go Tuesday, Wednesday. So there's no Monday games on the 28th of September. And then we wrap it up from there, and then we move on towards the knockout stages as Eagle will pop up the schedule dates as soon as I try to buy him more time.
It's because he actually didn't post them on the site. They're only in people's emails or on Facebook. So I got to find it now. Thanks
all right. So we're going to try to find that out here as Eagle. I
have them. I don't have it in a visually appealing way other than my inbox.
That's okay. You can show your inbox.
I don't want to show my inbox, though.
Why not? Okay, so...
Use your auditory pleasing way to do it.
Peeze
no, I don't think I will.
Peeze is almost fumbling towards the goal line over there.
I got a piece of samosa just stuck in the base of my throat.
Man, I'm gonna get a message from your wife saying, "Where's my samosas?"
She's not getting any. They're delicious.
Oh boy,
they're delicious.
I'm gonna be canceled by her for the next Peeze barbecue next May. All right, so as we continue to buy time,
I actually don't see the actual email itself or the other email.
Perfect.
Form.
So how about we whip up the schedule?
So, Eagle, why don't you just tell us?
Yeah, let's go.
So
use your words. It's also an auditory platform.
So let's get the calendar from the FPF page up on the main page, right? So we can kind of go through the dates there and then point it towards what you're going to tell us, right?
Sure, because they're actually not listed on the.
I know,
right
but
now.
we can tell. We can give you a precise date. Hey, if it's Wednesday, October 4th, for example, right? So
okay, so. There's 2 rounds essentially for the next round. There's the semifinals and then there's the bowl finals. So to remind everyone, and we'll talk through this for the different tiers, all 8 teams in tier 1 make playoffs. 12 of the 17 teams in tier 2 make playoffs. 12 of the 18 teams in tier 3 make playoffs, and 4 of the 5 teams in co-ed make playoffs. So we'll show you the graphic and everything, what it looks like. Everyone will play their semifinal game for your tier on the same day. So for tier 1, your semifinals is October 7th. It's the Wednesday.
That will be at CND, or we're looking indoors now?
For tier 1, you're looking at Brossard actually on the Wednesday.
So is Collège Notre Dame done after September? Because a lot
I
of people were
believe it's done.
me.
I do not see any dates anymore.
Yeah.
I see Brossard only.
Okay.
So it's Wednesday in Brossard.
Yeah.
1 versus 4 plays 7:30. 2 versus 3 plays 8:30. Nice and simple on that one. And then 5 versus 8 plays at 9:30. And then 6 versus 7 plays at 10:30. So that's your field 1 at Brossard on the 7th. For tier 2, your semifinals are October 6th, the Tuesday in Brossard. So you have the entire night, either 7:30, 8, 8:30, 9, 9:30, or 10. All the games are there. And for tier 3, you play on Monday, October 5th at Laval, all on field 1 from 7:15 to 10:15. For co-ed,
so a standard night of Laval. Okay.
For co-ed, your semis are also on October 5th on the other field, essentially, where you have a 7:30 and 8:30 game. And I missed out. Tier 3 also has a 9:30 and 10:30 on field 3. So that's the whole thing. So the week of the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th are the semifinals for all the tiers. So tier 3 and co-ed Monday, tier 2 Tuesday, tier 1 Wednesday.
And we have Laval Monday, Brossard Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yes, correct.
All right, so
then all the bowl finals, assuming you win that game, are going to happen on Tuesday the 13th. So not Thanksgiving Monday, luckily. They will all happen on October 13th, like I said. There will be a 7 o'clock game, a 7:30 game, an 8 o'clock, actually 2 8 o'clocks, 2 9 o'clocks, 2 10 o'clocks, and an 11 o'clock game for all the bowl finals, as well as the consolation round 1 and 2 for tier 2 and 3, essentially, for the different groupings of it. So basically, you're playing either 5, 6, or 7, and then if you win, you're playing the 13th.
All right, and then we wrap up that, and then not to get too far ahead, if we're looking at a time frame for the winter 2020 wrap-up, because I've been asked this question quite a bit now the last couple of weeks, when we would have the conclusion of the 2020 winter season in fall.
I don't believe there's been actual dates sent out yet, other than just we're looking to resume the week of November 7th.
Okay,
so
which would be
the
what,
7th
Saturday?
and 8th is going to be the resumption of the week 11 games, and then starting November 14th, we start the playoffs, and the finals are December 5th. However, these dates were tentative.
What day are those? Is it Saturday, Sundays, November 7th, November 8th?
Mo.
Just go on the calendar. You just go.
You're talking 60 days in advance here.
Well, we need to know, man. Guys got to.
It's a weekend. So 7th and 8th are a Saturday, Sunday.
Is that
14th
Masters
to
weekend?
29th is Saturday to
Is
Sunday.
that Masters weekend?
No, it's not Masters weekend.
It's the following week, eh? Masters weekend,
Yeah.
because that's when LSU plays Bama as well. We can't.
So
miss
again,
that.
those are tentative. They have not been confirmed just yet. They're still figuring it
Okay.
all out and locations, the whole stuff. As we get more information, we'll be giving that out.
Fair enough. Okay, perfect then. So, like I said, as Eagle mentioned before, the The 5th, 6th, and 7th of October is the Key Bowl knockout date, semifinals, the whole 9. Then the 13th of October will be the final Tuesday, the Twisted Tuesday finals that we have. And then we wrap up that, and then hopefully we'll get the conclusion of Winter 2020 done in due time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the strangest parts of all this is that we will conclude a season and then conclude the previous season shortly thereafter.
That's how we roll, bro.
All those games are indoors, right, Eagle?
Yes.
By the time we hit November?
Yeah,
My goodness.
I got a lot of complaints. I won't say who from
Peeze.
PMS. I won't say who it was. He goes, man, it's cold. I go, bro, let me ask you a question. In the middle of February, on a Sunday night in Lachine, is it colder in the Dome or colder now? You got a point. I rest my case.
It's also the wind. It's just unpleasant. I don't find it pleasant to play outside.
Well, you know what? The wind yesterday was a factor.
Yeah,
And
yesterday was
it was a bit
heavy.
of a factor. So let's dive into it, Peeze, because I know our suits are going to be like, my God, they were devouring food and talking about dates in December. Let's talk.
Well, the thing, honestly, and I'm going to say, honestly, Eagle, great job summarizing it all because it's a lot of information and it's boring, and we always give you the task of delivering the information nobody wants to hear. But also, for those who didn't really follow along, we're going to constantly be asking Eagle when we're discussing scenarios.
Yeah.
Eagle, what is it for this tier again? And we'll constantly be recapping that as we go. So you'll get the information as it goes.
And you're, like I said, captains already have it. I'm sure it's somewhere. I just got to make sure it ends up on the website.
Absolutely.
Fair enough. Okay, so recap the week that was, Peeze. I know you're not physically there to see games, but what caught your attention from
other
the
than
tiers?
normally it's what did you see? It's what did you see on the site that caught your attention?
Hear or see?
I saw Honey Martin really taking it to Toon Squad, and Alexis Dubois came on the show before this round started and talked up Toon Squad and how they were going to surprise everyone. And in that time, and since then, they haven't scored more than twice in a game, and they've allowed a total of 72 points in 2 games.
Yeah, but they hit rock bottom. I mean, it's what it is, right? This is a young high school team practically playing against men who have kids who've been playing FPF for 5 to 10 years.
I mean, men who have kids, that's not a selling point for athleticism. Usually the opposite thing happens.
Right,
Usually
but
you become less of an athlete as time goes on.
It's like putting the Toon Squad on the Audubon.
FPF Junior is a different game from FPF. There's a lot more physicality, even in the lowest divisions. There was a time where, like, the lowest divisions in FPF, back in when Division 5, for example, was the lowest division, and Division D was the lowest division in spring, where you didn't see as much physicality in lower divisions. But now it attracts guys who play, contact football and have played for their entire lives, even in divisions as low as Division 5, 6, Tier 3, and so on and so forth. So for them to come into Tier 2 and expect immediate success in what is ostensibly a different game, I think was far-reaching.
Yeah, and look, Honey Martin is definitely one of the best teams. We'll talk about them a bit later on and what they are. But I think for Toon Squad, and we said it last week and weeks prior, this is all a learning experience for them to gain the tough love for them to get better. And I would assume this is a team that will probably be here for a few years.
Yeah.
And look, I know what their intentions are for winter season, if and when that comes, if they're going to play in the winter season or not. But you would imagine that they would be better prepared to perhaps get a few more wins in 21 than they would now. But I think for Honey Martin, for what they did, I know they called the game with 5 plays here, but there was no competition. I watched from afar, and they pretty much had this game in control. And our boy Nimrod was excellent on both sides of the football on Monday night.
He is. He's a very good player. He's a reliable player. He's not necessarily the team's go-to guy, but he's a guy who's always going to have valuable contributions.
Oh, he does. I agree with you on that for sure.
What'd you
Anything
see,
else?
Mom?
You know what?
We gotta go one.
Yeah, we'll go
back and forth. That's the thing.
We're gonna go
because then I get to do the research.
I just want
as you do the
to.
next
I just
one.
want to put you in that uncomfortable position.
I'm-
Like, hey, Peeze, what else do you see? Tier
Well,
one.
I've been in uncomfortable positions in tight spaces with many people. Sometimes clothes are there, sometimes clothes are not on.
Yeah, but there's
you
creams
can't
for
get
that.
me to be uncomfortable.
Oh,
Even
boy.
if you were to get undressed, I would be extremely comfortable.
You can buy creams for that.
That's true. That's true.
Very well done. All right. A game that
Thank
I
you, Eagle.
saw.
Actually, Eagle, if you can order same as last time, I appreciate it.
It's already in the mail.
Thank you. Prime that.
A game that I saw was Consequence against Brave Noir on Monday night at Laval. A fun game. It was back and forth. Dan Lazara, our boy Danny Toe Tap, really played
Tacos.
well. He didn't like the name Tacos.
I actually
I
asked
know
him
he-
what name does he prefer, and he said tacos.
No, he said
there we
Toe
go.
Tap, man.
There
But
we go.
why?
Now it's,
Mo,
it's
why are you
official.
putting words in people's mouth for?
It's true.
Anyway,
It's bad reporting.
I think Brave Noir kind of hit an apex of who their quarterback will be in this whole process, whereas Danny Toe Tap was just slicing and
I don't know
dicing.
who that is. Is he tacos?
Toe Tap was literally throwing
Tacos.
dimes, and you saw some nice catches by AJ Gomes in the game. Augustin had a really nice catch, fingertip into the end zone on a 40 bomb. And this is a big one for Consequence because now they put themselves in a better position in the fourth seed to cement that status because, of course, you talk about Brave Noir breathing down their necks for the fourth spot. But this was a huge one. I think this gives them the confidence boost to say, like, we can compete with the best of them. And they were without Paul up here in this game and had Sam Mashtub in the lineup, actually.
So when I see this kind of game, Mo, and correct me if you don't see it the same way, but I feel as though this is the best kind of game. So, like, when like in fantasy football, you talk game script. This is the best kind of game script for Dan Lazara. Tacos deals well when he's able to cut the field up and work methodically and just sort of catch a rhythm. When he's trying to trade blow for blow and when he's playing on an edge, when he's playing angry, I don't feel that that's the best Dan Lazara. This is the kind of game where just everything seems to work, everything clicks, and that's where like he has one of the most beautiful games in FPF, and this is an example of that.
Well, look, I know we've always poked fun at Toe Tap in years past, right?
Tacos.
But he looks, well, I think he's lost weight. He looks in slim condition, but I think that's enabled him to be by himself, time the pocket, use his legs to run
Well, because
first downs.
when he was a tackle quarterback, he was a mobile quarterback. We didn't ever really see that in flag.
No.
But he's sort of taken an aspect of that and brought that to his game this season.
And look, let's call it for what it is. Consequence, besides AJ and Dan, that's not a Div 1, Div 2 team.
Isaiah Lard would like a word.
Oh, I forgot about Isaiah.
Paul Pierre would like a
Isaiah
word.
Lard, Paul Pierre. But the reality
Kimberova
is,
would like a word.
but like the reality is, I've seen better teams that Dan has had.
Sam Mashtub would like a word.
Yeah, but he was just subbing in though.
Subbing for Paul Lapierre.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. But I'm saying
But
that,
didn't he play with Monsters?
He did.
yeah, but I'm not talking about Sam Shub. I'm talking about this team because Sam Shub's a sub. He's not a. He's not a
Okay,
permanent
you're saying
guy.
did he play sort of a D1 guy for D1?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But
okay.
my point is that I've seen better teams that Lazara's had. Right.
Well, there was
Better
that one
talent.
team he had in the spring that was just straight nonsense.
That's the one
Yeah.
Marco Mathiocho with QB.
Was it?
No, because I'm saying Dan shouldn't be QB for a team that was better. Get it?
I'm confused.
But the
There's
point
too much
I'm-
time travel in that one.
The point I'm trying to convey is that this is a lesser talented team of skill sets, but yet he has this team playing at a higher level. And who knows if they get a right matchup in the Final Four, if they get into the Moneyball game, I wouldn't want to face them because I think Dan Lazara has a chip on his shoulder, and Danny Toe Tap wants to toe tap his way towards a Fall Cup title to his belt. Huh?
Okay.
Huh? What game caught your attention there, Peezler?
So I just want to say there's one related story to Consequence, Mo.
Yes, go for
And
it.
it's a player of on this team who's disappointed in their namesake.
Who's that?
Alessandro Barazzoni's not happy with you, Moe Khan. He sent me a message making fun of your chutney and saying that his hot sauce would tear your face to shreds.
I believe it, honestly. I
I'm
really do.
I'm adding words, but
I know
not a
you
lot
had
of them.
words because
Not a lot of them.
Barrett told me on Monday
He
that
told me
he would like to
garbage.
partake. He liked to partake.
Absolutely,
in
he
this.
did say that too. But he sent me.
I know he said because he
He
told
sent me a picture of his fleet of hot sauce, and he said, "This will rip Mo's face off."
So Mo, on a scale of
Barazzoni.
1 to 10, because there is a Richter scale, but we're not going to do that.
False king.
How spicy do you think your spice is
Did
here?
you say Barazzoni's hot sauce is false kings?
He's a false king.
All right, we have it. We have a challenge. False kings, Barazzoni.
So 1 to 10, this is a what?
I haven't tried it yet, so I don't eat samosas though.
Okay, so when your mom normally makes it, is it 1 to 10? Where is it?
in terms of spice,
I'd say probably 7.5.
Okay, and what's
7.
your spice tolerance? Can you get to it like the 9-10 range, or
I can get to the 9-10 range, but I'm going to the washroom for like a good hour.
yeah, but you also have like the weakest like stomach.
that is true?
No, I
Can't even
don't
eat hot dogs.
How's
Whoa,
your
hold on.
how's your dairy consumption?
I don't drink dragon. anymore.
How's your red meat consumption?
I don't eat. I mean,
I know that's
I
literally
just
the
changed my
point of
diet,
it.
though, man. That's
How's
just
your
diet
banana
purpose.
consumption?
My what?
Your bananas,
Oh, you eat a lot of bananas, man.
prunes.
Prunes, no. Apples, yes. Bananas, yes. Cantaloupe, yes. Watermelon, yes. Flaxseed, yes. Chia seed, yes.
Yo, the hipsters called it like their diet back.
Hey, that's how we roll,
Do you
baby.
have any bran, like raisin bran?
I have
Or-
organic oatmeal. That's-
Organic. So
yeah.
there's no pesticides.
No.
Put like
Much-
almond milk in it?
Like
Yeah, almond milk.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
almond juice.
Almond milk, no almond juice. No juices. I don't drink juice.
No, but almond juice.
Almond milk
No.
is
It
almond
can't-
juice.
it's not milk, right?
No.
There's no tits in an almond.
You
as far
press
as I'm sure.
almonds, yeah.
Non-sugar, unsweetened almond milk.
Juice.
You know.
And no samosas.
No,
I know.
my mom gets upset. She's like, you broke my heart. I go, I know.
That's okay, Mama Khan. We love you.
I know.
All the love's here, Mama Khan. So,
What game caught your attention here as we wasted more time? As Rob's going to kick her ass. We get someone here. Peeze. Eagle, you want one here?
Yeah, I'll take one more.
Go for it.
so I had it in front of me, and then it disappeared.
Disappeared,
So, Mo,
that's
if you can
shocker.
talk about a game, I literally had it right in front of me.
Yeah, no worries. I can talk about it.
Can we
again.
talk tier 2 pepperoni boys
I was
half
gonna
a stars?
Yeah, I was
That's
going to
exactly
talk
what I had
about
in front
that.
of me.
Yeah, I saw Joe Cano afterwards, and disappointed because they had him on the ropes, and lost by a score again. And like, if they do meet up in the playoffs in the Final Four Money Bowl, I would love to see this because this was fantastic football. Great poetry by the two teams here. They match up well. And the thing is, I find ironic is that the style of quarterback can play where Joe is more of the Al Davis, let's throw it 45 yards for a touchdown, whereas Andrew Langbert's more of the methodical, let's just work the clock and find the holes and just hit those seams with ease. And I want to see a rematch of these two teams go at it again if they do meet up in the Money Bowl game, if the Pep Boys qualify.
So Joe Cano completed 8 passes. That's going to be an issue. You're not going to have a lot of success against a team that's talented, only completing 8 passes. We did see on Instagram Dondre Borden intercepting him, and I couldn't see from the angle if it was a pick six or just a long interception. But huge interception. And that's the thing is like, yes, 2 of his 8 passes that were completed were touchdowns, but also 2 of his 21 attempted passes were intercepted.
What's
that's
his
not a great
season stats, his game-by-game stats here, Joe Cano? I know he's not been happy with his play this year. That I know. I remember he was very frustrated from a game earlier this season at CND. And they played all their games, I believe, at CND. They haven't had any other games anywhere else.
His first 2 games have been good, and then after that, it's
Yeah,
kind of
he
fallen
hasn't
off,
hit. He hasn't even hit 130 yards, and he's throwing pretty much 7 INTs in the last 4 games. And his pass completion, guys, has not been anything above 51, which is shocking because
It's not shocking considering his style of play.
But
He's not a guy who's gonna have the eye popping like 68, 70%.
No,
completion
he's
percentage.
not that. But you would figure he'd be better. I mean, he's what year 3 in terms of the calendar year as a quarterback full time. And
Well, the thing is that he's become the best version of what he's always done. I still think his game needs to evolve, and I don't know if he just doesn't want to play that way, or if he doesn't feel he can. But he has the weapons to be able to march the field like Andrew Langbert does. So, you're right in terms of the construction of the rosters. Both teams are well built.
yeah,
I think Jacob Boydman is criminally underused. I've been saying that for 2 calendar years now. In the case for half a stars, but the team is well built and can handle different types of attacks from all over the field. I don't know why they insist on playing low percentage football.
yeah, and like for the Pep Boys, they have some really good weapons for Joe. But you're right, Peeze. I agree with you. I think maybe he has to diversify his play calling, maybe work on the shorter game, just kind of set it up for the deep ball, because he loves the deep ball. It's like a turn on for him. It's like it's snorting, deep balls at his highest level here. And I don't know, like I would love to see a rematch of these two teams because I think it might be different. But perhaps playing outdoors has altered his throws. I don't know. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't.
I think half a stars is just like if they're the 2 best teams, then half a stars is a tier to themselves, and Pepperoni Boys is where you see the next tier begin.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Tier 1. 2 games left for a consequence for the season. They're in the 4-hole right now. Can they hold out Brave Noir for the last money shot spot?
Eagle, can you bring up who they play? Or you can't, I'll bring it up.
I can do that, yes.
If you can just verbally tell us.
So who are we talking about? Consequence?
Consequence, yes. And remember, Brave Noir will have to complete their game against Brave Vert, which I believe is next week.
Yes,
so that will
that's
change
correct.
it up a little bit here for the win-loss column as well.
So Consequence is home against BYOB and Urgence Medic.
Okay, I think they'll take. I think they can take both.
I think they can't take both. Neither game at this point. Look, there's no easy games at this point of the schedule, right?
No.
So, they played Urgence Medic recently, did they not? Eagle.
Yes, they had actually they played BYB earlier, and that was
Yeah,
a
they played
hot-
BYOB. This is the first time they're going to play Urgence Medic.
Yeah,
So
They beat BYOB by 4 points, 37-33 in week 5.
and BYB's now out of the run for the Money Bowl game as well.
I believe, yes, that's true.
So I think that Consequence. Most teams I look at sort of the way that you look at baseball. Baseball pitchers. It's always weird to say like, oh, this guy's on a hot streak or this team's on a hot streak because you have different pitchers every night, right? Like, so teams don't really get hot the same way they do in other sports. And flag's kind of like that because some weeks you're missing players, some weeks other teams are missing players.
Yeah,
There's a lot of unknown circumstances that don't go into professional sports, right?
right.
So, given all of that information, I think Consequence is just one of those teams, and specifically Dan Lazar is one of those guys who absolutely is comfortable getting on a roll and needs to do that because when you see a score like earlier in the season where it was like the two teams combined for four scores and stuff,
Yeah.
how does Dan Lazar not put up 4 scores right by himself? And it's that specific thing, and it's when they get to that point where they play that beautiful football that they're capable of, that's when you see them start to roll. And I think they reached that point in the season. It kind of reminds me of D-Boys back in the day, Mo, where it took them like 3 weeks to remember, oh yeah, flag football is a
Just
thing.
turn it on, get some wins.
You know, exactly. And
We'll see
it's
the finals in the
once
finals.
they hit a stride where, oh yeah, this is the timing and this is how everything works out and this is how everyone's going to fit in on the team. And especially I think because of the turnover on the rosters that they've had, I think that sort of leads to that.
I think with Brave Noir, unless they get this quarterback thing figured out, I can't see them catching Consequence. And of course, I believe Eagle. To refresh my memory, was it Brave Vert who were up over Brave Noir? Or was
That's
it the other
right.
one?
Yeah. So Noir is driving for the tie. They're down by 8 points.
Okay, so exactly, it's one play left.
So these stats actually here, even though you're going to see Brave Vert have 6 played, notice they're 5-2, and Noir have 5 played with their 3-3. So this is
Yeah.
assuming the results of the game, but there's a possibility that ends up being 4-2-1 and 3-3-1.
And if you just clarify one more question for me here, Eagle. Consequence beat Brave Noir, but did they play earlier? Is there any tiebreakers of a head-to-head competition with those two teams, or is it one game?
We do have tiebreaker scenarios. So Brave Noir, Consequence beat Brave Noir, just a 1 game. Right?
Okay, so they have that
the
tiebreaker.
tiebreak.
Okay, so they have the hammer right now to perhaps control the destiny in the playoffs. Urgence Medic Peeze, they're at 4-1-1. They're only a point away from KGP and Brave Vert for 1 or 2 in the
They have
seeding.
Brave Noir and then Consequence to end up the season.
Urgence Medic, right?
Yes.
So could they sneak in at least number 2, maybe even get into the number 1 spot and be the overall leader in the playoff bowl game?
So nobody I said like there's no easy roads at this point.
Yeah.
There can be no harder path at this point than playing Consequence, who seems to have found their offense, and Braves Noir to end off the season. Oh, sorry, Braves Noir, and then the Consequence, who by that point we assume are going to be fully rolling. The thing is, Justice Bree has played fantastically, right? Like he's just played really smart. Quarterback rating over 100. He's just been the Justice Bree we've wanted to see and have seen in the best versions of him. He distributes the ball well. You have 3 receivers with double-digit catches. You have 2 guys that are right about there as well. The touchdowns are just split across the board. He's a guy who looks for advantages. And I think that in both cases, Brave Noir and Consequence, they aren't overwhelming rosters where he won't have matchups at any point. Right? He's going to have certain plays where he can attack in each game.
Right.
And there's an opportunity absolutely for them to jump up. It's not going to be particularly easy.
Okay, so quickly here, Peeze, at what expense, who will be dropping down for Medic to jump into the top 2 spots?
It's not going to be Brave Vert. And
So KGP.
if it's anyone, it'll be KGP. But the thing is with KGP,
They have Sweat and Beers this week.
They have Sweat and Beers. So I don't see that happening. So I don't think we're going to see any movement in the top 2 teams. and it's now on consequence to stay above Brasnoir and Urgence Midzik to hold on to a spot. But I think, in general, I think we have our 4 top ranked teams from the money pool.
It's a question who's going to finish where now at this point.
I don't even think it's that. I think we might have a 3 or 4 swap, and that's it. But the thing is, like, if you look at the top 4 teams, does anything surprise you?
No.
I mean, KGP kind of just because they're at second, but we could have seen Consequence at second preseason, and KGP at 4, right? So like the 4 teams that made it to that round are the best 4 teams in division, right?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. So we'll find out. One more week or 2 more weeks left for those who have 1 game left, 2 games left here to find out. And of course, we'll do the wrap up of Brave versus Brave next week when they meet up to complete that game. All right, so tier 2. Look at that standings up here for tier 2. The Outlaws, easy W, Le Centaure, should they be uncomfortable, PZ, given how many teams are trailing them for the spots 2 through 4 for the Money Bowl games below them?
Yeah. They should feel uncomfortable.
Now, keep in mind, there's only 1 game left for most of those people. Pepperoni Boys have 2 games, though, because they have LGC and Tough Lungs, which are the rescheduled games. So that's why they have 6 games left.
Yeah, Pepperoni Boys, they're the ones who seem to be the ones that can make the jump. They play Warriors and Tough Lungs. I think both are good matchups for Pepperoni Boys. Although Warriors, they've surprised us. Like, in games where we think they're going to look really good, they don't. And games where we think they're going to get just smacked, they win the game. So you never know in a sense. But I actually think Pepperoni Boys are going to bounce back from that loss to half a stars. That's really the thing that was going to shake them. But they've lost 2 straight, and they beat Pardon My Swag by a single point. So
Right.
they haven't performed in the way that we've expected them to from weeks 4 on.
So we'll put half stars in the 1 seed. I think that's theirs to lose at this point.
Yeah.
So out of Outlaws, easy W.
It's possible they do lose, though, right?
I
I
don't
mean,
think-
it's
I can't see them
unlikely,
losing. No.
but it's still possible.
Who do they have next 2 games?
They have LGC in the last week, and next week they have Tough Lungs.
Okay.
I mean, it'll be tricky games, but they'll get through.
So they play against 2 teams that have guys with a decent amount of speed, but half a stars are just good across the board. They have everything. They have size. They have speed. They have quarterback play. They have a good system. They have a good defense. They have good offense. There's really not.
They have tiebreakers against half a stars, against ECW rather, and Outlaws.
Well, there's 6-0. They have tiebreakers against everyone.
No, but rather, like, if they end up with a 2-way tie, they've beaten ECW already.
Yeah, like
they
the
haven't played
teams-
Outlaws, though. They haven't played Outlaws.
Well, but the two teams that they face aren't teams for which they require a tiebreaker, right? So if they, even if they lose the next 2, which is highly unlikely, they're like Outlaws have allowed a ton of points, and they have the head-to-head with ECW. So I mean that's pretty much said, and like it's what we expected. Is half a stars is the top class team in the division. They're
which
winning money.
team do you think will be out out of spots 2, 3, and 4? Who's most likely to drop out of the Money Bowl game?
Who has the head-to-head with ECW and well, Centaurs have the tie.
ECW has some tough losses. They lost by a few points to half a stars, and they lost another one, a head scratcher they had, I believe, 2 weeks ago. I remember talking to Jeremy White about that.
They
one.
They beat the Warriors this week. They lost the Outlaws by 4. They lost the half a stars by 3. They beat Voodoo by 4. And all the other games have been pretty decisive wins.
So yeah, the thing is ECW faces Mangoose, which is that's a fun game.
The battles. Of
I
friends.
actually wish I could be at that game. That's gonna be a lot of fun. That's the same. They're all clones of each other, right?
They're all boys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like I used to say Jaegerbomb looked like they were just all made in a clone of athletes. Like these 2 teams are from that factory, right? Like
Of course.
they're the same kind of situation. And then so one of those 2 will sort of either jump up or go down, and then we have who was the other one? Le Centaure again. The tie actually makes it kind of interesting for them
Because it absolves them from tiebreakers.
Exactly. It kind of puts them like they have a chance to, if they win, they play Part of My Swag again, a tough game. But if they win, they can see themselves sort of catapulted. But I think what we're gonna see is Mangoose move up and Centaurs drop, unfortunately.
All right, so look at Goldcock.
Not Mangoose. Pepperoni Boys move up.
Right, so Goldcock, Tough Lungs, they will have 3 games left.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the give and take here. 3 games left. They can make the run, but they have to win 3 in a row. Can they make the run and get themselves into the top 4?
Well, they also face each other, right?
Yeah.
So it can only be one of the 2 teams. So let's start with which of the 2 teams, Mo, do you think could make that jump, given that they're
Tough
going to
Lungs.
face each other?
Tough Lungs.
I'm on the other side of that. I think
I'm going with the Wrangler.
I'm going with Ego Cuck.
I know you are.
I always do.
I know you always do.
Tough Lungs have a weird schedule coming up, right? Because they have
How weird is it?
well, they have a game the 14th gets rescheduled, right?
Yeah.
When they head
They have a
against the
doubleheader, don't
LGC.
they?
So they have half a stars this week, and then they have a double header on the 29th between LGC and then Pepperoni Boys right after, right? So
Oh, boy, they really have the influence on this whole top 4 when you think about it, right? Pep
Yeah.
Boys' life and Half Stars being the perfect team.
Yeah. So
and LGC potentially jumping up too, because
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? They can potentially.
I don't see. So LGC, like they have Outlaws that are a tough matchup. Like I said, they or Tough Lungs will cancel themselves out.
Right.
So let's just say Illegal Cuck managed to win the first game,
Yeah.
which I think they're under. We would all agree they're underdogs to
Outlaws,
Outlaws,
yeah.
right?
For sure.
We also see them playing Tough Lungs. Let's call that one even, right?
Yeah.
We all agree.
Yeah.
So if they happen to win those 2 games and they then knock out Tough Lungs, they then are rewarded by having to face the top team in the division, Half a Stars.
Right.
So
again, because it's the last game of the season.
yeah. So for the like too many things needs to go right for them.
Yeah.
And Langbert's gonna have game film.
Yeah, there we go.
He's
So
got
no
a
chance.
film of them like eating their breakfast in the morning, for all we know.
Langbert's creepy.
He is a little bit OCD on that. Okay, before we get to the Francois Martin IG action shot of ours on the FPF page here.
Speaking of Bigfoot,
Yeah. So I have a comparison to make. The Milwaukee Bucks of the Tier 2. You want to take a guess which team reminds me of the Milwaukee Bucks?
no, go ahead though.
Eagle, want to take a guess?
Are you gonna say Warriors?
No.
No.
No. Pease, want to take a guess who I think is the Milwaukee Bucks of this Tier 2?
Texas Shorthorns.
Correct!
Yeah.
You know why? Because John Buse is the Giannis Antetokounmpo of this team.
He got
Okay.
hurt and now he's out.
No, thankfully not. Oh, God, no. He's an unstoppable force, man. He's the Greek freak out there.
Yeah.
The West Island freak, man. He's unstoppable, and everyone else is like Middleton, all those guys. Lopez, that's how they are. That's what they remind me, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
Are they reliant on him though?
Yeah, look at the numbers.
They
look,
are.
Look
They
at the
absolutely
numbers, man. He is the
It's
West Island freak.
passes to him or checkdowns to
I forget, yeah, man.
Words are hard.
yes. I just forgot the player's name, and internet's slow again, so that's fun. Yeah, Eagle, if you can find out as we're talking.
It's a fun team. I love
I always gonna say like so. It's one way. It's no matter how you sort of like break it down.
Yeah.
Franco
They become-
Chopo.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, that's right.
How can I forget that name? The thing is that so he gets checkdowns and John Buse gets everything else. I was gonna say whichever way you look at it, that's the exact situation. So you have either they're a team led by their super strong quarterback in Colin Sakara.
Right, yeah.
They're either led by their ridiculous receiver, who's the one guy in John Buse, right?
Yeah.
Or the fact that their offense is completely one-sided. Like so, it's no matter what you do, there's one element of the team that's strong, right?
Absolutely.
So it's that connection with that one receiver that makes them so much stronger than everybody else. But defensively, they struggle. In fact, you know what? I'm changing my mind. They might become the Houston Rockets.
There you go.
Just because
no defense.
Just because they score, but they don't. Although advanced analytics, the Rockets' defense was actually pretty good this playoff. But
Yeah.
anyway, we won't look at that. Let's just make fun of James Harden. Ha! You sucked even without strippers.
Speaking of making fun of, let's get this action shot of our boy Francois Martin from the FPF IG page, please.
From the IG page?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I gave you the script like 5 hours ago, Eagle.
I didn't even open
He didn't open it, dude.
I actually didn't open it.
He also sent the picture in our group.
Yeah, I was busy making the graphics. Look how nice these
No, but
graphics
I'm saying
This is
Mo
so
sent the
riveting.
picture to our group.
are. Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
see it.
This is so riveting. Like,
So it's a picture of Francois Martin where he looks very tall. Want to know why? Because he's very tall.
he's very tall, but
It doesn't
it's-
sell it without the
It's
picture,
a very
though.
provocative picture, like erotic almost, like
Yeah.
near-erotic over here.
To me,
would like
I
to
don't
get up.
often look at Francois Martin and don't think he's erotic.
No, he's a
You
very
know,
nice
put the
guy.
link in chat. Oh, God
I put the picture in the CTA group.
No,
No.
you didn't.
I thought so. I saw it somewhere.
Yeah, it's in the CTA group.
It might.
It's not in the.
or it's
I
in
know
the
what
media
you're talking
group.
about, but
Oh
it's not
my
in there.
god, I definitely did. Hold on.
So
here.
Francois Martin is tall. There's a picture where he looks tall. There's a guy running towards him who's not tall. The two are very close.
Can you go
They
to
look
the,
intimate.
can you go to the IG page at least? And
Yeah, I'm gonna find it. I know which one you're talking about.
It's in the group. I have it up. Go in the group for the CTA thread of ours,
Yeah.
Just search pictures.
and in the shared photos, you'll see it. It's there.
Oh yeah, I do see it now.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. So I want to get that shot and the headshot of Marc-Andre Deslonier. And what is a better picture? That's what I wanted to talk about right now.
Well, nothing is worse than Marc-Andre's
Oh, but this is
picture.
a good picture though.
Yeah, but so I'm saying nothing's worse than that picture.
I know.
You're just gratuitously going to that picture.
It makes me angry.
It makes me kind of happy
It makes me angry.
because I paid for so much booze, Mo. That picture makes me happy.
Look at that picture of Francois Martin.
I will say, the amount of throws he can make off his back foot is nonsense.
He looks like Nikola Jokic making that throw.
Well, he looks like Jokic anyway, with less hair. Less hair, yeah.
But who's that? Is that Miles Keller, a Russian quarterback?
Based on the jersey alone, I'd say yes.
I think so. Right, we'll go with the number. All right.
Or else you should return your jersey to Miles Keller.
Yeah, if that's the case. So here's a headshot of Marc-Andre Deslonier, and what's a better, like, they're both funny shots.
Yes. Well, they are.
I don't understand your point though.
I don't know how to relate
Take the
it.
headshot of Marc-Andre, please.
Why?
How do we not have it on file by now?
Yeah, I know.
This is riveting podcasting, by the way.
I know. Like, this is
This is why I don't read the script, Mo, because it's garbage.
yeah, but I find this to be hilarious in how.
I just
Francois-
don't. So I understand both points. I don't understand.
Wait, is
the
that roughing the quarterback though?
what?
Is that roughing the quarterback?
If he's hitting the arm, we can't tell from the angle, but
He is in the arm though, is he not?
I mean maybe, or his arm's in front of him. Maybe they're like 6 yards away. Like you can't really tell from the angle.
He's like getting swallowed up by his
It
midsection.
does appear to be that way. And I've heard on good authority that Francois Martin's midsection does swallow.
You know what? I've been looking at this picture for so long because of Mad, but have we also noticed that Mo, you did some chest that day, didn't you? Look at that.
I did not
Full pump.
actually. Friday's
Full pump.
chest day. Friday's chest day.
You 100% hit some push-ups for the picture.
Yeah.
No,
You got
I
a little
didn't do
pull in that
push-ups.
shirt, Mo.
I heard from the kitchen staff you dropped down in the middle of the
No.
garde manger.
No.
I hear he has to do a rep in the morning so he gets the names right.
It's true.
Absolutely. All right, tier 3.
That's what happened to Rob's wedding.
Oh yeah, tier 3. Oh my god, we almost got screwed up on your wedding too. I had to come out and do the order.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, let's get the parents here and there. Let's go. How awesome would
Luckily,
that been?
mine was easier. My parents were the ones who were not Latin American.
No, but how awesome
So-
would that been if I bleeped that up?
Twice?
That
Yeah.
would have been great. I would have left. Mic drop and left. All right, guys. Good night.
I only told my wife the story about how you ruined Rob's wedding
Rob ruined his own wedding.
at our wedding. I didn't tell her in advance.
All right, tier 3. More beatable team. Is it Mean Girls or Honey Martin right now, Peeze?
Honey Martin.
Honey Martin by a hair.
Okay, I want to hear your point. And I want to hear Eagles' point after because
We have the same point though. It's the quarterback play, right? Of
Yeah,
Mean Girls.
Yeah. The Mean Girls, their offensive system isn't complicated. It's drags, it's deep balls, and it's slants. So it's easy, quote, to cover in theory. The problem is they have good receivers and good athletes. Their quarterback puts a ball where you can't defend it, and they catch the ball. And then their defense does enough to shut you down because they take away anything deep because they're just tall guys. Their rushers fast, so they force you to have to play a slow game against them, and then they break on every ball, right? So you're gonna get burned eventually.
Yeah. It's look, it's exactly that. It's at this level, if you have a strong quarterback. We knew about Buck Anier coming in. We knew about Mark Bellini, but we didn't know Shaden Hitu Frankel. We didn't know him as a quarterback, right?
No.
And as it turns out, combined with his freakish athleticism, he's also a guy who can be very accurate, who can throw the ball very hard, and he can throw the ball, to Eagles' point, to a place where it's very difficult to defend. So if you don't disrupt routes, and I'm not saying guys should play physical because I'm not advocating for that.
Yeah.
They're
But-
also physical receivers, though. That's the other thing.
Well, that's
they're,
it.
They're big guys, and
You need to play.
they've done more bench than Mo has done. Let's put it that way.
and that's a lot based on that picture. But
That's a lot of muscle in that picture.
mostly on Stefano Berardi. But
Yeah.
if you're willing to commit to sort of eating slants and drives
Yeah.
and drags, that's the only way you're gonna
All
have
right,
a chance.
but what about Bud Nice? Would you include them into the picture of being one of the best team, if not one of the best teams? Or are they in the second level?
They are. They're within that tier, but if you sort of rank 1 to 4, I think with Lockdown being in that group as well, I say they're like Lockdown's 3, they're 4 basically. Marc-Andre's playing very good, although this was probably his worst game in a while. But the team itself, Eagle, you faced them recently, but I think the team itself is just really well suited to what he does.
The timing is really good. The only thing is he has 1 or 2 reads tops in every progression. So if you like at one point,
his footwork is not such that he can pivot and
no,
go back.
exactly.
He has no footwork.
Yeah.
in the red zone at one point, I anticipated a play, positioned myself on one side of the receiver. He looked at me, called a timeout, and told me to go fuck myself.
There we go.
I knew the play, and he's like, "Well, I can't run it now, so timeout, got to change it."
Yeah.
That's
Well, hold on. Did you give away what you guys were about to do?
He just
For-
he stood inside
no.
shade.
I'm like, exactly. I was inside shade. I'm like, I'm gonna go outside shade because I feel like he's gonna try and run something on the outside, and it was a tee out that he was gonna try and run, and he just didn't have it. So
And
he had
I
enough
think
time
we-
to change it on the line.
We actually discussed that play before your game.
Yeah,
It exactly
exactly,
was
yeah.
that.
All right.
Tee out corner, bubble.
Yeah.
So when we look at the next wave of teams here, so Speakeasy, Lockdown, Trap Stars, can one of these teams overcome the ever hot and my ball in 60s for the 4th spot? Because Speakeasy has been playing great football. They were dominant yesterday. Lockdown, they've crashed big
This
time.
week was a miss. The other 2 weeks were competitive. This week our offense didn't.
This
do
was a
enough.
deflating loss.
It was
for you
it was
guys.
surprising. So it's not surprising me that you lost to Bud Knights. It's surprising me that you lost to Bud Knights in this kind of game.
We
This is the kind of
we
game
put
where you guys.
13 points up. Like,
But
it's just-
that's my point is that
Yeah.
if you would have come to me and said, you know what, they beat us 30-26, okay, but if one of those two teams was winning 19-13, it was going to be locked on in my
And
mind.
who's the guy that dropped the ball 3 times? Number
Tyler
29?
Keating, he had a really bad game.
He had an awful game. Like the last play, I know it was a
It
rush.
should be
throw.
Tyler seating on the bench. How about that?
Well, you know
How
what?
about that?
Last play of the game, Buccaneer had it was a rush throw, but it got to him and it went right through his hands. Had he held on, game-winning touchdown, they win. And it was like bad game from some bad drops.
Ball
2
and
on that
60s
drive.
have Trap Stars this week. Speakeasy have Goblin Gang, and Lockdown have Toon Squad. Trap Stars, yeah, I said Ball and 60s. So,
So
only one of those two.
lockdown can climb up. Speakeasy has a tough match.
They
And
had
Trap Stars also has 2 games, by the way, to play.
Yes, they do. The other game they have is Zone 6 Ballers. That's the win.
right. So
give me-
No offense,
give me-
Zone 6, but
Give me Trap Stars, actually. Give me Trap Stars to be the ones to move up. Unless, does Lockdown have a head-to-head against Trap Stars?
no, we do not.
So by the way, Ball and 60, you said play Trap Stars this week, or is it
Ball and 60s play Trap Stars this
Okay,
week.
so that's an elimination game right there for one of those 2 teams. Trap Stars lose, they're done. If Ball and 60s lose, they're not in so good shape
Yeah.
going towards that 4th seed. Then
Yeah, I think we're going to see Trap Stars win that game.
I think Trap Stars have found their rhythm. It took them a while to get going. The first couple weeks of the year, they were just trying to get a feel for the flag game again. But since they've come into this round of games, they've been much more efficient than before. So they could sneak in there. I think, look, Trap Stars definitely have a better chance because they have that 2 games to go with. So they have a little bit more wiggle room to work with. But if they can somehow beat Ball in 60s and put more pressure on the 60s for that last spot, oh boy, look out. It's going to be a fun finish for that last week,
Yeah.
though.
I'm excited for that.
I'm more disappointed by this season is a Triple P, Rainmakers, Goblin Gang, Lionhearts, or the replacements.
So when you look,
Goblin Gang, in my opinion.
I was going to say Triple P or Goblin Gang.
All right, so I'll go with you first. Why Triple P?
So I'll start with Triple P. Triple P looked to me to be a strong roster up and down, and specifically on defense. I just thought they had a lot. I know Thomas Gordon, Kevin Donnett. These guys are just really, really, really strong for this level. We just didn't know about Mark Farley, right? And he started the season strong, right? We saw him do well against replacements. We saw him. He was the quarterback against Zone 6 Ballers too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
He was there as well. So, you know, when you see those first 3 games, Mo, when you see 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions,
Yeah.
you're like, given the surrounding cast that they have, this should be an absolute stud of a team. And then, since then, since that Zone 6 Ballers game, in the next 4 games, he has thrown 8 touchdowns. And he has thrown 5 interceptions. So it's become very regular run of the mill. And then we see also like the precipitous drop of the completion percentage. We see going below, not only below 50, but down to 37.9%, down to 31%. The only other game he was that bad was his first ever game in FPF where he was 38.1%. So I think there's a bit of a regression. And he might be getting in his own head just because of he's not been in this spot before. So he's kind of just getting in his own way.
Right.
Because, man, to have this caliber of team in Division 3, in Tier 3, is nonsense. Because
what was
Gary
the record?
McMahon, Kevin Donnett,
Yeah.
Stem Spaniolo, Andel Thomas Gordon, these are all very, very, very good athletes. You should be able to do serious damage with them.
Eagle, what was their record in the opening round? Were they not 3-0-1, I believe?
You're talking about Triple P?
Triple P, yeah.
They were 3-1.
3-1, right? Okay, so they
lost to us. That was it.
Right, and that's when they kind of turned, right? That's when they there was that play in that game where they gave up a safety when they were up on you guys, I believe, and then
On a flag guard.
On a flag guard, right? And for whatever reason, that play really stood in my mind. And since then, they've not really been that great.
So, and this isn't the shit on Triple P because they did have some really good games, but they played Bada Bing, Replacements, and Zone 6 Ballers as their first 3 games, right?
Which is
so, and then they played us as their first actual challenge. Admittedly, we also played Replacements, and we got the win against Zone 6, so fine. But, yeah, then afterwards, they played much tougher competition in terms of Bud Knight, L, and J. Next week is Honey Martin. That's probably going to be another L. And then the Rainmakers game, they tied, right? When Rainmakers finally started to get it together. So,
right.
I think it's just that their offense is so reliant on Kevin Donnett to just carry the team, and once you figure that out,
but
then
see,
Mark
like, why
Farley
don't
doesn't have a lot more options.
But why don't they have like a 3-headed monster? Because again, Andel Thomas Gordon.
Yeah, Thomas Gordon is
excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. He's an excellent.
You ever see his hands?
Yes, I played with him many times.
He's got like hands the size of my hands, like ×2.
Yeah, but he drops a lot.
He actually doesn't.
No,
I know. I
he's
just
got
like
better
making fun of him
hands.
for it.
As a guy has been his quarterback and he's bailed me out a ton, I'm telling you.
He's become a really good player. Like
Yeah.
his hands are huge. Okay, so why, Eagle, quickly, do you believe Goblin Gang have disappointed this year?
So, to their credit, they have Anthony Drysdale playing quarterback for, I think, the first time in his career, right? So I can understand a little bit of the struggles and the growing pains and everything. That being said, Ben McMahon's carrying this team in terms of like receptions, touchdowns. Like he had 7 touchdowns in the preliminary round. He has 5 right now. The rest of the team only has 3 in the qualifying round, and in the preliminary they had 8, right? So he's carrying literally 50% of the team. I just give him the ball and make him win games. And their defense is good enough. They have speed and everything. So instead of having this complicated offense with moving parts and rolling plays, simplify it. Make it easy for Drysdale to just hand the ball off. Run your little slants. Run your hooks. Run your goes. Just air it out at that point and keep it as simple as possible and just drown them out on defense with your speed.
Is it mean if I say I don't feel bad for them? Because they keep doing this where they change sort of. They have their main core, and then they rotate guys in to play quarterback. Just make the best version of your team and move up.
They got caught.
Unless this is what you want, right? You want to have fun. People want to play QB
but
and then change it.
if they're a truly competitive team,
They would want challenges.
True.
then come on, move up and give us your best shot.
Well, they got caught though, Peeze. Like they've been doing this whole let's go with this guy's quarterback, let's go with that guy's quarterback.
It's going to catch up to you at some
it's,
point.
It's what you call, as you would say, false kings.
False Kings. There we go.
False kings in that predicament. All right, co-ed. So I'm more than convinced now, Peeze, seeing Yin and Yang play the last few weeks or last couple weeks without Gino DeFazio, that they're much better with Justin Weir as a quarterback than Gino DeFazio on that football team. It just feels like they've had the shackles taken off their arms and they're just at liberty to have fun and play football. And yesterday, watching.
Okay, but like get out the narratives. Why, from a football perspective, are they better with Justin Weir quarterback?
Because watching them play against Kiss My End Zone yesterday, their pass rusher, Marie-Lou Côté-Noël, devoured Josh Vasquez nonstop.
Okay, but I don't understand how that relates to the quarterback situation,
But
Justin Weir and Gino DeFazio. So how in a football way, how in a football context, why is Justin Weir not narrative based? Why is he better for this team than Gino DeFazio?
Better arm, buys time, keeps plays alive.
So the athleticism.
Play calling is much better. he uses his players in the
So, but like
proper
that
role.
it surprises me because given how long Gianni Fazio's been here, and
Yeah.
I'm about ready to agree with you. But given how long he's played, it surprises me that his playbook has not evolved.
It hasn't though, but it's like he's not saying he's trying to force a circle into a square peg over here, but it's like he doesn't like he recruits well. I think we give him that. Like there's some good players on that team, but he doesn't use them properly.
Yeah.
And I think where Justin Weir comes in, his ability to buy himself time in this type of context of a co-ed league makes his team so much better, and they've all stepped up in the last couple of weeks. And you see it. There's a much more dynamic team with Justin Weir at quarterback than having Gino DeFazio at quarterback.
I mean, yes, it definitely. I will agree that the athleticism gives him another dimension, and I will also concede that the play calling does need to improve. My only concern was if Justin Weir's playing quarterback, he's not a receiver, but it seems he can use that athleticism in another way.
Well, he has Ryan Dobbs, right? And he killed Kiss My End Zone. And I look at Kiss My End Zone now. I mean, they were hot. They had a 3-0 start, right, Eagle, in the first month of
Yeah,
the
and then
games?
they've shit the bed 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
like,
they lost
Well,
to
but-
Fighting Tigers twice, and now Kiss My End Zone and Yin Yang.
this last week was a disaster.
It wasn't good for them. It was not a good game for them yesterday.
Ryan Dobbs Garnett is reliable, and then on top of that, Matthew Peacock and Emma Racine. It's a good receiving core, even without Justin Weir as a receiver.
Yeah, and Emma Racine, she makes players miss. Like she turns a 5-yard hook into a
Oh yeah,
10-yard first
she's
down.
like as a guy who loves to run like underneath and rub concepts and drags. She's that kind of receiver. Like she gets
She's
the ball in
very
her
good.
space and she's dangerous.
She's very good, and they couldn't stop her. They had no answer for her yesterday. And I think for Kiss My End Zone, I think.
You put up 6 points. 6 points.
But Josh Vasquez, and I brought the point up here, like, he hasn't played in a couple of weeks here. So are we going to say because of rust he had a bleep of a game, or is it because, hey, he is starting to realize that he's not the best quarterback in this division?
I mean, the way I look at it is they lost 2 games in a row to Fighting Tigers by 1 point, right?
And
And
they were
Fighting
missing
Tigers,
guys.
we argue are the best team by far.
The Fighting Galenas are the best team.
So then when you go out and you get destroyed, I mean, that's what it was, by Yin and Yang, how does that make any sense, right? I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe it's the cold. Maybe they're also a summer team.
So I'm a little disappointed for sure. I know that for him to be playing and then be gone for 2 weeks and then come back, it's not only difficult for him, it's difficult for the receivers to adjust to the new quarterback, to the new play calling, and then have to go back to what they're used to. So the team is never at its, and this is like it hurts to have any position missing, but if you're missing your snapper or your quarterback, it severely hampers your
Yeah,
offense.
for sure.
And I think with Joshua Vasquez, that's what he's realizing. If you pop in and out, it's going to cause an issue.
I just want to see a semifinal game between Yin and Yang and Kiss My End Zone. That's all I want to see. That's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be like a war with these teams. All right. It is now time for...
Games of the week.
All right. There's Joe Cano's face.
We get to do this a couple more times.
Now,
so
what's the overall standings now for the win-loss record?
you're
here?
still behind, Mo.
I know I'm behind, but I feel like I've done better the last couple weeks.
You have, but you're definitely catching up, but you're still behind.
But I'm above 60%, am I not?
I think you just went over 60%.
I was at 60 last week.
Yeah, so right now you're at
There
62.4.
you go.
It's still the lowest. So Alexi's at 63.5. Peeze, you're at 64.8. And
Climbing the
2
rankings.
percentage points.
Iggy,
that is.
Iggy
Smashing
Magnets
you.
is at a whopping 71.
That's pretty
Okay,
impressive.
so hold on here. Minus Iggy.
Iggy Magnets.
If we go, the games behind
We are
teams.
smashing.
Am I
you.
one game behind Eagle? Peasy for number 2.
Destroying you.
It's
Plus,
a
you get
little
to
bit
pick.
tricky to tell because Peeze doesn't pick his own game.
I was gonna say plus you get to pick against me every week. Mo, those are easy wins. Those are easy wins.
Okay, here we go.
Get out of here.
So tier
Force
1,
Fleet.
we have Consequence, BYOB.
I'm going to consequence.
Consequence.
Sweat and Beers, KGP.
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 Urgence Médique, Brave Noir.
Urgence Médic.
Yeah, Medic for me, yeah.
And Terror Squad, Brave Vert.
The Greens.
Green.
Now, are we doing the replay of that game? The conclusion of that game?
Yes, we are.
Okay, fair enough.
For tier 2, Half a Stars, Tough Lungs.
Half a stars.
Yeah, half stars for me, please.
Outlaws, LGC. Remember, this is the first game for LGC in like 3 weeks now.
Yeah, I'm going to go Outlaws.
Outlaws as well.
Voodoo Trojans.
Voodoo.
Yeah, Voodoo.
Mangoose EZW.
Ooh.
I'm going to go...
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I'm going to go Mangoose.
Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, Mangoose.
I'm
Called
gonna
Ty.
go
Ty.
EZW.
Ty.
No, EZW.
I
I hate ties. I'm never gonna root for Ty.
Would it be
Never.
like kissing your brother? Question mark. Because
I mean-
you're like twins ish, unless you're like
Mirror.
Warriors Pepperoni Boys.
Pep
Wait.
Boys.
Is it kissing your brother if you're clones, or is it masturbation?
Oh,
Find out for us. All
My
right,
God.
I'm gonna
Eagle,
go
can you search that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pep Boys, please. Who do you have?
Warriors Pep Boys piece.
I have Pep Boys.
Unknown talent. Hot Sauce Sports.
Hot Sauce Sports by 50.
Unknown talent, brother.
Do you think the over under in this game will be 50? Over under.
We have a really good defense. It won't be.
Under.
It won't be 50. It'll be under.
Yeah, under.
Because you're not going to put any points up.
Yeah.
Bruins Bandidos.
Bruins.
Bruins, but I don't like it.
And pardon my swag, Centaur.
PMS.
Santar.
I'm going PMS.
Tier 3. Trap Stars. Ball in 60s.
Traps.
I'm going to go ball in 60s in this one.
You're
My
just
boys.
afraid of them.
My boys. Ball in 60s.
Lockdown. Toon Squad.
Lockdown.
Lockdown, yeah.
Honey Martin. Triple P.
That's a good game.
Honey Martin, but I don't like it.
I like Honey Martin.
Bada Bing. Zone 6.
Both
Can
are
I pick a tie?
terrible. I'm going to go bada bing on this one.
Replacements. Goon Squad.
Replacements.
Yeah, replacements.
Rainmakers. L&J.
Rainmakers.
Lineage One.
Bud Knights. Mean Girls.
This is a good game.
Mean Girls for me.
Yeah, I'm going Mean Girls.
Triple S. Lionhearts.
Triple S for me.
SSS.
Le Speakeasy. Goblin Gang.
Speakeasy.
And lastly, for co-ed, I think there's only... there's a few games, actually. Kiss My End Zone, Semi Croquant.
This is a big one
Yeah.
because this might be a for 3 or 4 in the playoffs here. Kiss My End Zone.
I'm going to go Semi Croquant.
And then in a double header, Semi Croquant La Secte.
Double head win for Semi Croquant.
Yeah.
And last game, Yin and Yang versus Fighting Tigers.
Fighting Tigers.
Tigers for me, brother.
All right. Now, remember, we do have the Week 9 games, which are either the games that were going to be on Labor Day, which we obviously didn't schedule, or some of the reschedules for some of the LGC games, Tough Lung games, etc. So there is an additional week of FPF, albeit a short one. So keep that in mind.
I realize
The
I have to
schedule is
work.
not over yet. You still have a chance for teams to win or lose to help you out.
I have to work. I forgot about that. All right. Match words, please.
Quick reminder for teams that are away, bring a second set of jerseys. We've had a few incidents recently where we haven't had that happen, and it's been black on black. Normally, I only watch that online.
Okay. And the phone number, please. Text number, please.
Yes, the phone number.
Yes. You go.
Text the number you're supposed to text for to submit your rosters. For them.
Hold on. It is 1-833-507-2310.
I mean, like a Visa card. You have entered 2, 4, 6.
Don't say
8.
more numbers. It just confuses people.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. All right, match words, please.
Heat
From
her
all
up.
of us here at Weekly Extra Point Live.
Heat her up. 1 point.
Good night, Odell Beckham.
What did he do?
Might be
He's
traded.
not on the Heat.
Might be traded.
He's not gonna be traded.
He's not going to get traded. He loves them
Why?
steamers.
He's on the block, boys.